some element of what they previously did. So this plays very heavily into the favor we talked about. You don't want to do a head-on duel with the same thing you did before.
I love it.
And then the question is if it actually is going to work.
We will see, because I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but we have a Turkish versus Turkish team and only one jet. I cannot wait to see what they do with this map. Over to you, Mitch and Jonas.
Yeah, it is definitely a surprise that we're not seeing the jet come out. When you think about the value that is brought on this map specifically by a Raze, it's huge, right, Jonas? So it's not like it's a surprise they picked Raze. It's the fact that they didn't pick Jet and who they put it on. That's what really blows us away.
Yeah, for sure. And that's probably also one of those things, because Raze can combo a lot better with Astra than what Jet can. Because you can use your nades on top of a black hole, which sucks them into the center and makes them vulnerable, while Jet doesn't really have that much synergy with Astra. So that could be one of the reasons why we see Raze instead here.
Yeah, I think that as we move forward, we'll see exactly how this Astra is used. Turkish team pulling it out. It's a surprise to all of us, and I'm here for it. I like the wall by Turco. That's going to buy them a little bit more time, but it gets destroyed instantly. Sasuke going straight in to try and find the duels on players stuck in the corners, but they're already backed out. Oxygen on the defensive side will take a passive stance on B after early aggression, but that means no information. They don't know whether Futbolists are just about to burst out, and as they jump spot into B main, they see nobody. The entirety of this force creeping in towards middle as they'll look to split out, and their options are open. The only problem is they're fully committing to mid. They have no control inside of main, so these fights have to go their way.
Yeah, they're probably gonna, if they spot this tripwire, yeah, they take it out, and the push should be coming in. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, they wall off for CT, but showing a bit of hesitation here, actually deciding to rotate around and go to the vents. Mitas, though, is in the off angle, gets Jet already showing a big value here. Sturban as well, pushing, but just gonna hold the smoke for now. Very dangerous to push through. Toronto, though, is alone on the side. Doesn't get checked. Gets one, though, but gets taken out, and this should be the plant.
It should, and indeed it will be eventually tucked safely. They've got control over heaven, so Futbolists can hold down those angles, but players are already on the site, overrunning them, and a double for Zistau, putting them way ahead. Sturban from above wants to get it done, but with a frenzy and 12 HP, his chances are low. He gets the diffuser.
Oh, no.
Now he's got it in a 1v1, but Glove, good to finish it off. Oh my god. That kill under the diffuser, 12 HP. I didn't think that was even nearly going to come in.
Oh my god, that was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be, especially because having a frenzy from that distance isn't ideal. 12 HP.
That's ridiculous. It really is. And a really, really good attempt by Sturban, but in the end, it wasn't to be, was it? 1-0, we go to Oxygen, and look at their economy now. They're investing up. Even pulling out a Bulldog on their Cypher, while Futbolists, well, they're right in the boat with them.
Yeah. This is a confident round 2 buy. They got the plant down, so they knew that they could afford, but Turco already takes out his Sage counterpart.
And we're going to have the man advantage swinging towards Oxygen. Even ult orbs can be taken, but they're pressured quickly. Magoo looking to come on through, but there's not all too much that he can do. Taken down as Oxygen continue to extend the advantage. Trades are there, and they're perfect at this stage of the game. The spike retrieved. There's not really very far that they can go with it. Presence towards B, considering you're up against a Bulldog, that Spectre fight is never going to be favorable for you. You got to hope he's missing his shots, and it's anything but. And on low HP, he'll just tuck in and wait for his teammates to catch him on the cross. Sturban's got a hell of a task here.
Yeah, this is indeed an Herculean task. He has a smoke, though, but might be just using that to bait. A 1 versus 3 with a Spectre is not an easy task. Zistau is low, though. If he gets a pick, it could be possible. But they see no reason to play this aggressive. He could still rotate here. They're holding 3 people on B side, seemingly confident that he's not going to rotate back. Ooh!
Yeah, he spotted out a lot of them, but he has no choice. Time is so low. Shadow step to sight, but he knows they'll want to push on through that. Out he goes, and 1 kill goes his way. Okay, this is already a decent comeback into the round. Oxygen started it out very dominantly, and they end up only surviving on 2 players. They will carry the Bulldog through to the next round, but for Oxygen, the 2-0 is theirs, and they're up against an eco.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because like they bought Spectres this round.
Yep.
So even though, because usually you say that if you play on round 2 and you manage to do kill 2 or 3 players on the other team, you consider that a pretty good round if you eco, because they can't play the bonus round because they lost too many. But here they forced back into it, and now they're stuck on a pretty scrappy buy here with 3 sheriffs.
I think the important thing is that the damage done in the previous round is good, but they don't do the same here. If they don't force reinvestment of 3 weapons, which they've even got a ghost, so Oxygen are really playing conservative, then it doesn't matter, really, in the grand scheme of things. So for Futbolists, losing the previous round sucks. They've got some opportunity to win this before their bye round, and let's see how easy they make it for themselves into the next and to come back into this one. And the pistols.
Yeah.
Look at the pressure that they're applying on mid, but that wall and those players holding up on top of it, it stops them from going for the beat crunch they really wanted.
Zistao here is just playing really nicely, but his tripwire is taken out. Could be careful here. We've seen some of these Sheriff White Swings before. As the race just jumps into sight. Doesn't find anything though. The jet dash comes through as well, but Zistao is ruthless with his... Oh. Okay. What?
They were both low. He just takes them down with body shots. Sasuke from above onto Glove, and all of a sudden, this is a favorable round for the attackers. The aggression out to sight, masked by cages, smokes, dashes, and blast packs, has granted them all the kills they could possibly want. The distraction on the Heaven play now puts Oxygen in a very bad spot. The time is ticking, and they're starting to run out of opportunities. The pull, the nade, it doesn't get much. Those players are able to avoid it and stuck up close here. Okay, Toronto sees one, but they have no idea about Sturban up close. The timing is good. The tag is there. The kill, not so much, but time is so low. Mites has to get on it and bait them out into the open, but they have a nade. The classic fight doesn't go his way. Sasuke on 10 HP as Futbolists take it 1-0. 1-2 rather, but in that round. And they carry over a weapon as well. It's a Vandal brought forward. That's a huge round.
That's a huge round for them indeed. And that really changes up the pace of the game as well. Because they only invested into Sheriffs that round, expecting that they would lose it. And now they're suddenly in a comfortable position to full buy weapons and utility. And suddenly we see Oxygen on an eco. Probably because they lost so many players each round. So even though they won 2 rounds, they're forced to eco here.
That's it, right? We talked about it. The damage of round number 2, it doesn't matter unless you do damage in round number 3 when you go for the force buy on round 2 and lose. And, well, they did damage, Jonas. It's fair to say. They did a lot of damage.
Yeah. They did indeed.
I do wonder.
Magu already all the way up in vents here. They're giving a lot of space in the middle. No Cypher tripwires, so typical. Oh, needs to be careful. Obviously, a bit easier to push here when there's not much utility on the defending team, deciding to save their money. Finds one more, though.
Okay.
Then run and guns him right. Is this tense? No?
Run and gun wall bangs down below. You can't even see him anymore. You love it. Unless you're on the receiving side.
There's that.
Well, this is, again, a round that's a write-off, really. You know that it ain't going to go your way, but it's about damage. It's about taking weapons out of their hands, and so far that's been a failure from Oxygen. Looking at a potential 2-2 scoreline. The problem is, right, if Futbolists win, if they don't lose a player, then even Oxygen winning the next round, they'll face into another full buy, so they won't get that free follow-on. And the early half, it's so important to build up those rounds, those streaks of rounds, and give yourself a better chance to close it, especially if you're the underdog.
Yeah, for sure. And this has been a discussion for a long time, how different playstyles cater into if this map is defender or attack-sided. We've seen some teams, like especially G2 in the past, have like 10-2 on attack, but then still like lose 10-2 on defense. But it's so strange because it's just each side favors a playstyle so differently. So that's what's going to be questionable here. Is it so that Oxygen needs to win a lot of rounds on defense to be able to take this out?
It's a very good point, right? But we may not have time to really discuss it. because at the moment we're seeing a lot of aggression down middle. You see Oxygen wanting to take the fights early. Oh, Mitez, he hasn't been spotted, but well, he has now. Taken out very, very quickly, and that's a real shame.
Caster curse.
Yeah. Hasn't been spotted, gets shot in the head. All right, I guess he has. Oh, the showstopper is hunting them down. And okay, it doesn't get a kill, but it opens up the space. And this is the thing, those players now out of heaven, pushed onto site. And the thing is, they ain't looking to push B. They're going to the A side instead and about to make their way right onto the site. Not for free, though, because there's a player inside that smoke. Toronto thinking about the blast pack play, and he does it straight through the backside, stops the TP, nades it out to slow any push. They have a little stun put down as well, and overall that's completely stopped Futbolist and allowed the full rotation of Oxygen into position here. They've got 2 players ready to hold it down.
And look at the Astra Stars here. Like, they are ready for this push. Like, if they communicate this well, this could be really difficult.
Astra's dead.
They can smoke. They
30
can.
seconds left.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I will now.
Oh no!
Thanks.
Glove! Hello! Alright, he makes up for it. Screw your stars, he's taking headshots. Revive onto Magoo, but Toronto from backside drops a nade. Rolling Thunder, good night and sweet dreams there, cracks. Magoo's left alive in a 1v3 with no time to go, and I think this one, it's time to go home and save that weapon.
I was so excited about my Astra analysis. Like, Jonas is dead,
there's a
man.
huge Astra play. Oh, it happens. It happens, man.
He can communicate to his team, and she can like put 3 people in the black hole. Jonas, she's dead. Stop.
That's why you don't play with Jonas. You're dead, and he's just like, Nade! Why are you not nading? I'm dead, bro.
Spike down A.
That was good. That was good.
Luckily, there's no rank requirements to be a caster, right, Mitch?
You know what? Immortal was good enough for me, okay? I'm gonna hit your Radiant, but we'll get there eventually.
Thanks for saving me, though, instead of just like
I was tempted.
leaving
I was
me
tempted,
open for...
just like a 10-minute point. It's
If
like,
you would have
oh,
left
she's
me
dead.
there, oh my god.
Just like,
Like, after the map, Jonas, you know what? In round 4...
you just like spend the whole map just like, I think honestly back in round 5 when they didn't use the stars, that's when they lost. Yeah, but it happens, it does. And let's see what happens right here, because Futbolist, well, they're starting to push in towards B main. There was a wall about to go down, but they decided against it. Now the control is there. The wall's going to be quickly broken. Futbolist making a lot of noise. They're starting to really shout and scream, but it's the heaven split that they're looking for. They're holding inside events, but this is all part of their plan. Make a lot of noise in B main, see if they rotate, see if they get curious somewhere else on the map and try to take some map control back. And if they do, then you quickly shoot them in the head and switch directions. But when they don't, what do you do?
Exactly. I was really hoping to do an Astra Star analysis now, but it seems like they're going to be pushing B instead. Counterflash comes out, though. They're starting to run out of time. Only 25 seconds left on the clock. They need to get the spike down here. Astra ult comes out as well, making it really difficult to push. And Turco is just laying in fire here, but gets refragged.
Down B.
14 seconds left, though. This is starting to look a bit scary.
10 seconds left.
Oh man, on the fade back, they had to go and get the spike. That's the problem. The kill that came in, I think with the showstopper, right, is what dropped down the spike. And then they have to walk out in the open with 30 HP, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's also really difficult because with the Astra wall, you can still use utility through it. But the problem is that you cannot really hear utility being used. So if you're on the other side of the Astra wall, you cannot hear a Raze popping her ultimate if she's like, let's say 10, 15 meters away.
That's the thing, like, especially because it gives you blowback as well when you shoot. You can jump through an Astra wall, fire the ult, and go back through it. Something we saw Yassine do a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The benefits of using your opponent's utility against you. And that's, I think, where at the moment, the wall has been almost bad for the team that's using it a lot of the time. Now we've seen players or teams use it much more conservatively just to block off 1 or 2 angles. And it's working much better that way.
Yeah, it's just a Viper wall on steroids, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Stowie, here's the player up close. The Bulldog, though. Oh, it's his death. The rate of fire not quite there for the spray. He went down too quickly. and he's just shooting him in the belt. The belt buckle blocking the shots. Magoo. He turns from the flash, but the timing. Toronto was happy to just tank it, get blinded on his way in, and take the kill. Serban 1v3. The first is his, but the res comes in, so he's right back where he was before. Picking up another weapon instead of reload, and it almost works out. That would have been not just an ace, but a 6K clutch. But Glove, with 28 health, survives, gets the defuse, and puts another on the board. Hey, Oxygen, they're looking damn good.
That retake looked so good. The way Glove flashed the back corner on elbow there while Toronto satcheled in. We can see it again here. See that? Well, okay, the timing is a bit unfortunate because he also gets flashed, but at the end of the day, it was such a strong synergy push there. And then, of course, the Sage Rest just to absolutely secure this round. But showing some, I mean, really good defensive aggression here.
It's what you expect from this region, isn't it? Like, I think you say good defensive aggression in Turkey. It's like, well, yeah, of course. What do you think we practice all the time?
Exactly. A good defense is no. How is that? You know, it's like the best attack is a good. No, the best defense is a good attack. Yes.
Best defense is a good offense. There you go. Sometimes.
Thanks.
I got you. You're on fire today, Jonas.
Thank you. I get that a lot. You know, this whole thing about not being an English speaker.
No, it's good. It's all giggles. It's all giggles. With Oxygen though, look, opening duel went their way. Sasuke, I don't know how you describe that play. I would say ambitious. You know, if I'm being nice.
Yeah. It reminds me of a certain Finnish jet main in Team Liquid, who sometimes has some crazy ideas.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Crazy, the word I would use. Oh, look at this. The fault line, perfect. It's going to catch them on the way out, pushes them into the open, and it cuts off the team as well. They can't even fully peek. One guy has to wait behind for fear of getting stunned. Oxygen are looking good. I came into this as a real doubter. I was not a believer. I saw Futbolist, hey, they're taking this easy. But recently, Oxygen, as we said, they overcame the team that previously has been the thorn in their side of BBL. And as you said, you got to take out the Prince to get a shot at the King. Well, the Prince is dead, and now the King, well, you could be going with him if this keeps up.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really hard to tell which playstyle caters to being defender-sided or not. But so far, Oxygen is showing... I really like the way they're using utility. And that's the thing about Astra as well. Like, she can be anywhere on the map, and if they communicate well, she can be so annoying because there are so many choke points here. So when they're pushing B site, for instance, you can place a black hole on the default plant spot. And that's probably, like I said, why Toronto's probably playing the Race now. That the synergy with Race and Astra is just endless.
Yeah, absolutely. For the pulls, for the stuns even, because if you hit a stun and you nade at the right position, think about elbow, for example. You stun in there, you drop a nade.
Yeah.
They're either going to tank the nade and die, run into the stun, get stunned, and die to the double damage from the nade, or they're just going to get stunned, and then you can take the fight if it's out in the open, if you place the utility correctly, right? So it can be really, really powerful. But...
And Futbolists, they have a attacker-favored comp as well with double duelists. Like, it's not... Like, they have an Omen Flash and 2 duelists, so it's not like it's a terrible... You know what I mean? Like, they have plenty of aggression opportunities here.
For sure. No, I think when I look at Oxygen, definitely the breach is going to serve a big purpose on the attack as well. Like, those flashes can be huge. For football, it's going to be about getting Magoo, that operator, and trying to make it work. Obviously, on the attacking side, not so much. But hey, those stars, they're getting used, Jonas.
Wow, and Astra's alive. Barely.
Barely, yeah. I have HP.
Caster Curse is probably coming in hot right now.
Look at these rotates.
Oh, he's getting healed. That nade.
Oh, Toronto, he's in trouble. He hits the first, his teammates come through, and Mittez with the triple. Okay, now we're here to play. They did only have pistols. They had weaker weapons, but with Magoo left alone on a ship. Well,
oh no.
Okay. That's a decent start. Let's see, 3 more to go. A couple more of these headshots, but look how far away Breach is. That's going to be a 145 if ever I've seen one. Frustrating thing if it comes through, but he can't even get the bullet out of the gun, and he's gone.
Valorant gamer caught red-handed while meditating.
That's one of the downsides, though, right? It really is, because we mentioned like, oh, you're out of the game, but like you really are out of the game. You don't even know you're getting shot until you're pulled out of the form from the damage, and it's too late then.
Spike down A.
Yeah, most likely. Unless someone is not having a field day.
Unless it's me that's shooting you, then I hit you once, and then, well, that's the end of the story.
But that's also what makes her balanced.
True, very true. Yeah, I think it would be fun to see what it's like if she could just put stars down where she can see without going into astral form, but I think that would be insane. But fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the dash as well. That's so good. The paranoia had already blinded up Mittez. Luckily, he gets the kill, left on relatively low HP and quickly dealt with as Oxygen. They take the man disadvantage.
They are indeed, and suddenly this is looking a lot better for Futbolist there. Sasuke runs into the tripwire, so the information comes out that it's probably going to be an A hit here. This is Stau lurking around. Getting a lot of ground here, but they have a breach on backside, and he needs to be dealt with. But a beautiful shot there by Zistau.
You will not
and he has his ultimate.
That res comes in. It's huge for Futbolist. They want to move to the side, but there's two players here. It looks like Turco's worried about them switching directions. Glove. Oh, here's the rolling thunder. And there's one player on the right who won't be hit, and Glove takes him down quickly. Spike goes down, Magoo far away, and a 1 versus 2. It's winnable for sure, but he has to hit this shot to Turco. He can't really afford to take much damage on this initial fight if he wants to be following up. With 20 seconds left, his opportunities to change direction are very, very limited, but he's going to come up into heaven. 15 seconds? Does he have time?
He does have a dash.
Oh, he does. Okay, that's a big difference maker. He's going to need it. He's going to... Oh my god, okay, no. This guy's got timings down in his brain. Down to 1 second, within a second, and he gets... All right, cool. He's done that run a couple of times.
Wow. He chooses to go for an aggression here, which is probably... He doesn't want to take a 1 versus 2 on the spike. He wants to try to get one out of the way, just like he does there. Gets stunned by Breach, though. Needs to get out of there, but this is looking very doable. Breach is starting to run out of utility as well.
But he's cleared the important angle now. He'll presume that he's in towards the spawn still as Magoo looks to move on out. It's already stuck halfway. He's going to go fully sticking it, but Magoo's there in time. What is that round, man? The timing on him rotating. You could see Oxygen didn't even think it was possible. He gets there, he plants, and then he sets up an ambush as well. That's disgusting.
It was so beautifully done by him as well, because like I mentioned earlier, when you're in a 1 versus 2, you don't really want to take a clear 1 versus 2. Yep. You want to do 2 1 versus 1s, and that's exactly what it did. He pushed offensively into a defender spawn, which seemed like they weren't really ready for it, and it paid off.
It did. It definitely did. And yeah, even the fact that he saves his dash, if he uses it to get to site like I would have, like I was almost encouraging him to, the panic mode sets in, he could have been in trouble because he wouldn't have been able to get away from that initial engagement as quickly, and he was 70 or 60 HP after it. So that would have, it could have been a little bit dicey, but he's able to get the kill, dash out, and then be in a position where his opponent has to be a little bit worried about him being close. It delays more time, and he gets the... takes him off the defuse. Overall, you just see the level of experience within this game. Like, that is something that only comes to you with a lot of hours playing this game.
Yeah, the built-in clock. Because we kind of wrote it off, but then I was like, oh, but he has the dash. It still works, but then he didn't need it. If they don't check this angle.
They did on the dash out. Magoo was seeing him. Zistau in danger, and well, he's gone now. A 3 versus 3. Rocket comes in, the showstopper for damage in the follow-up from Magoo, but there's an operator in town. Toronto drops a nade and slows down this push, allows himself to reposition as the smoke fades, and the upside as well. There's a wall in his way. Sasuke has a blast pack to get over it, but blast packing in the open is going to be dangerous. He's trying to spot it out. Magoo's trying to do the same, but they've got to make a play. They've got to open some space for this rotate to come in. They gamble it eventually, and it seems to have paid off. It literally a millisecond in that, and Toronto could have seen him. But now the plan comes in, and a 2v2 commences.
Last player standing.
This looks like a very typical flights play from... Oh! He gets one. He's stuck in a 1 versus 1 now. This is very doable. He doesn't know where... He expects that he's backside, though.
Does he scope? No. Oh. If he scoped there, he could have gotten it, but Magoo was just too quick. I do love that play though. You pop the showstopper and you know, okay, these guys are gonna move, right? You don't stand in position. Yeah. You don't just wait on the spike. You're gonna die. So they move. That gives the information, and then he pops the ult off of it. Really nice.
Yeah, that entry there by Magoo was sick. Just smoking and then just like running out of it so confident. But yeah, I mean these smoke dash trades, they're so good because like you mentioned earlier. Most likely there's someone there to trade you, and if you get the pick, then it's a win-win.
Oh, looking for 5 rounds on the attack. It won't be the end of the world if Futbolist get there, but the lead Oxygen have worked so hard to build up would be under question coming into the next half. Mittez is in danger. He doesn't really have an escape here, and after 1 kill, he will fall. Stars are now out of the equation as well as his ultimate. That wall won't be coming into play. Toronto with the Spectre, not good for anything, but Turco, he just Ferrari peeks into and...
He's got the res.
No, he's rezzed in the open, though. It doesn't look... Oh, they do deal with him. Okay, Sasuke was quick to swing and trade. And that res was risky, but it was more or less his only option.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I mean, they had a person that died on ramp, too, so I was wondering if, like...
He didn't have the wall, so I don't think there was all too much that he could do. I feel like the flash right now. You getting that? Going through, zooming through the rounds.
That's how it feels when you like you play Beat Saber on Expert Plus, and then you go back down to Expert, and then everything feels so slow.
Yeah. It's like a Guitar Hero back in the day. I remember on the Expert difficulty. Then you're like, some tracks only have medium, right? Or like they'll have a lower difficulty. You're like, I can't do this. I can't. What is this?
Oh.
Well, obviously, a little bit of a tech issue here. I think we should have the HUD back with us. Oh, we've ascended.
Oh, breach. Get your glasses, breach.
Breach versus Sky.
Stop
this
it,
is
breach.
what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. This is the player's point of view of how that works. But okay, we'll be back into the game in a bit, I suppose. We're on camera now, Jonas, apparently. So that's fun.
Okay.
And I think our game should be back in play soon. I don't know what's happening. These things happen.
Okay. I can see the gameplay now. Can you see the gameplay?
I think so. I think I can. They can't see the gameplay at home, though. That's the downside. So
they can't see the gameplay. No. Oh, that's great.
It is.
Well,
do you want to act it out? Should we charades it? Should we do some charades? I've got a. This is sure. How do I make a ghost? This is a classic. How do I make a ghost out of it?
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll be the orb.
You be the orb? I'm gonna just like
pick me up.
I'm gonna just.
Pick the
there
orb
we
up.
go. I got it. Obviously, a bit of a tech issue, guys at home. Sorry for this. The downside of online production. Sometimes these things happen, but guys are working hard on fixing it in the background, and they're working very hard because we're already back in. Let's go.
I just picked up my tin flute, man. That's so typical.
You were gonna play the spike music through it, were you? Like beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Well, as we take a look at what's going down, it is obviously a 2v4. You've had the spike be planted by Oxygen, but now they're trying to hold on up close and personal. It ain't happening. Toronto quickly dispatched with, and thankfully it was a slow round. They almost waited for us. They snuck out on A, making a bit of noise around mid and losing a lot of their players in the process. Got onto the A site with spike and then ended up dying. So 7-6 we go. Futbolist, they're right back up there. They're the ones in the top right. Your green boys. What color is that? Tell me that, Jonas. Because I've heard a lot of it. Someone called it blue. And I don't want to say I hate them, but I won't say it.
What?
The defender color. That's like a cyan or it's some sort of green, isn't it? Okay, good.
Are you colorblind?
No, but someone called it blue before, and I thought I was.
Well, I mean, it's like Gru. You know? Or Bleen.
My God.
I guess.
Well, again, we're looking at the attackers of Oxygen. They've lost the pistol. They've got a weaker buy. But they're going in for the force buy. You know, usually teams will eco, but these Turkish teams, man, they don't know what eco means. They're like, eco? Ah, you mean Spectres?
I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Oh.
What was that?
Sasuke needs to be careful. I don't know.
One enemy remaining.
I think I think he just panicked. I think he put down the blast pack and then just like smashed Q really quickly. Like, blast him! And threw another one out. I don't think he would have wanted to fade back from the angle that quickly, but hey, 7-7. It's a round win. They lose 2 players. That's a bit of a blow, but as we said, that was a force buy from the attack of Oxygen. So now they've got to come in and get an eco, basically. A Turkish eco. So there will probably be a bit of armor. There'll be loads of sheriffs.
Sheriffs?
Turkish eco.
What could we call the Turkish eco?
A Tico.
Turco?
A Tico.
I like Tico. That sounds kind of cute. Oh!
Oh, but he got him in the end with a headshot, of all things. The spray and pray has clearly worked out today.
You would know.
That's all I ever do. You know, I actually operate in the system of I purely believe in it, so I just swing on angles with my eyes closed and start firing. Probably can't tell.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's better than flicking off targets anyway. Oh. Mites though gets a headache. Left with 34 HP. It does have a Sage though, so doesn't do too much. Still has no armor, so Spectre's dangerous. Oh, that's a big Omen flash. Gets 2 targets that they're stuck behind the wall here. They have a flank coming in, but they get 1 though. But
Spike down.
T-Rex quickly on the refrag. Mites though. Whew. These sheriffs are. You can see why they like to do these kind of plays.
Yeah, well, you absolutely can. It's left down to Maj, and he gets it done. Okay, Futbolist, they come out on top. They get their 8th round on the board, but it wasn't exactly easy. There were a couple of speed bumps in the road, and they lost a lot of weapons. That reinvestment's going to be a bit tough. And with the spot that they're in now, having the lead, I mean, look, for Futbolist, they're the favorite team. They're not going to be, you know, crying about this one. Not going to need a pause to wipe up the tears, but if you're Oxygen, remember this team was hugely in the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it like 7-2 or something? It was a very strong, certainly 7-3 at one point. And
yeah.
They've ended up now being behind and not getting off that starting block. This is tough.
Now look at the aggression here on defense. This is Sasuke is in the middle with that judge double blast packing in. Is this defense or attack? I'm not sure. They just...
I'll give you an answer to that. This is Turkey. There is no difference.
They had 3 defenders. Oh no, what? I'm not sure about the... Okay.
Moj knows there's someone close, but yeah, okay. He tries to make a play around the back, and I like that. You know, Oxygen, they hit the brakes. They stop so that there's a reaction. There has to be, right? Some dude just blast packed on the side. You got to do something. Peeks around the side. Boom. Headshot. Easy sight cleared. Now they get the plans. That's can only last so long, but they waited their time and it paid off. Now, for the retake, there's still going to be a little bit of trouble there. Obviously, Futbolists have the man advantage. As oh, okay, that peak was so well timed. And they're getting the kills. It's starting to really look good for Oxygen, leaving it all down to Magoo with an operator and a 1v2. Picks up the Vandal, but swings wide, and that will be his demise. Oxygen, they're back up on the board. We said they needed a round, and there it is. They finally get it.
Yeah, and so far this match is a lot closer than I think most people anticipated. I mean, we had several, including Ryman, like basically saying that Futbolists should confidently take this. But then again, this is a slightly different lineup from Oxygen than before, so maybe they didn't quite expect this and are trying to work a way to play against it.
We'll see how things are going to be rolling. As we jump back into things at 8-8, Oxygen, they've gotten their round on the attack side. Now, they need to build up a little bit more, because they should be walking away with this one. This is not really that threatening of a round from Futbolists. They've got the 1 hero rifle on Maj, and other than that, it's pistols to play with. That is, if you don't count the knives. Normally, you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight, but this guy right here, well, he learns the hard way. It's maybe not always a good idea.
Yeah, and this round looks pretty much over before it begun. Probably gonna try to get maybe some economical damage here. Just gonna vandal those Turban. Oh, nice swing there on Turco. Sasuke as well. Toronto takes that duel, has a much stronger weaponry.
Yeah, I think we do have to give the Oxygen side big favor, but okay. Even that weapon's going to be dealt with. Leaving Cracks all by himself, and he gets something out of the round. Hey, you take even the little victories in a round like this of getting yourself an ult orb. That's honestly something that I've seen in some top EU teams not do. Like, there's a B lurker. It's an A hit, clearly. Like, they're last alive. They're on a low buy, and they don't go and get the orb. They don't prioritize it like that. And I think, you know, your chances, if you take an extra 6 seconds to rotate, your chances don't really go up or down of winning the round. They're still pretty terrible.
Yeah, for sure. And orb control is definitely something that is super important. Like the difference between like having the utility or ultimate one round before can be so devastating. So I think it's definitely I mean, if the round is lost anyway, you can decide either if you're gonna try go for an exit frag or take the orb, or ideally both. But yeah.
Yeah, and it is only a minor detail, but it's the devil's in the details sometimes.
Here.
For Oxygen, this is the more challenging run, right? We breeze over the previous, we talk about whatever because they just have pistols, and you don't expect anything, and 9 times out of 10 you don't get anything, especially if the jet ult is dealt with so early on. But here's where they can do something different. Rolling Thunder to push them out of heaven. Futbolists lose a lot of control, and that Raze ult onto site. Oh, it doesn't get him because Magoo, he dashes. Luckily, though, they're holding for that as well. They have everything planned out for. They can see all the possibilities. They've got whatever stone it is that's supposed to let you do that. It doesn't matter because this possibility is zilch for Futbolists taking the round. They are dealt with in a flawless manner. What a quick execution from Oxygen, and every single part of that, you know, that is something they've rehearsed. You can tell.
Yeah, and that was very well synergized between the Breach ult and the Raze ult there. The Breach ult pushes them away, and so does the Raze ult. And even though he doesn't get a kill, he forces the jet off the angle, and then his teammates are waiting and pre-aiming the other angle. So regardless if he's gonna die to the showstopper or not, he will definitely be taken out afterwards.
Exactly. It's all about grabbing those, but essentially setting yourself up so that even in the worst case scenario, you pop a showstopper, you don't get the kill, boom, you're still able to get the trade. You're still able to come out in the best possible scenario if the worst thing happens. You know what I mean? Setting up those protocols. And that's where being together as a team for a long time and working on the right things can really, really benefit you. And right now, Futbolists have got nothing. Just Sheriffs. Look at the positions they're in. Like Cracks especially, if he's patient, if he stays there, he could be good for a reward.
Okay. Lurk and Cypher already got 2. 3 out of 5. Okay, having a field day here against the Sheriffs. And this round is basically over before it began.
Yeah, it's I'm impressed. I really am, and I said it earlier and I started to doubt myself. I started to think that, you know what, Oxygen, they had a lucky run in that first half, but now they've got no answers on the attack, and well, quickly that is being disproven. We're now realizing that Oxygen are 2 rounds away from winning, and not just that, they're up against a kind of last-ditch buy from Futbolist. If they win this one, they're looking very favored to take it on 13-8. Futbolists now the ones with the pressure on them, and that makes for a bit of a change in what I expected in this series.
For sure. And Omano gets tagged there already. They had the pushing Cypher here, going first in. Sasuke though with a nice duel here. Nice kill there on Cypher, but Mitas and Toronto gets 1 each as well. So already a favorable situation here for Oxygen. Mitas pushes through the vents. Tries to find something, but...
Out of charges.
Oh, Toronto. He's tickling him up. He's just dancing around, man. Waiting for reinforcements, right? The cavalry was on the way. So he's just messing with Sasuke like, ooh, I hit you, man. Ooh, there's a little tickle for you. Maj, good for 1. Okay, we're back in. Ultimate gets information, but hey, he's already dead. And it's a 1 versus 4. Cracks. What can he do?
but look at the Astra stars.
Wow, they're so well positioned on B. If this is a B hit, Jonas. Hold on. What if he gets this?
He has a res.
Has a res, but he doesn't have a wall. So they're going to have to get these kills extremely quickly. Cracks, as the head peek angle, as they come out, they double peek it. That's so nasty, so nice. And it looks so... Oh, no, that came close. One bullet in a spray, and we could have been looking at a devastating loss for Oxygen.
Match point.
A round that I had no faith in, but they came insanely close. But in the end, it's 12-8, and it looks like we have a serious game in our hands.
Yeah, those are like one of the hero plays that pretty much only a Battle Sage can do, where you get a quick double, which just puts you in a favorable position where you can rest, and suddenly a 1 versus 4 became a 2 versus 2.
Can you imagine if he had a wall there? They may well win that, because it buys enough time for Sasuke to peek behind the wall and take them as they're spraying.
They may well win that.
They may well win. God damn it. I thought I'd gotten away from these puns when Tom left, but here we are.
Nice try.
I thought I'd have one day without these puns. Nope. We're back. Well,
I'll try to make another good one.
Please
soon.
don't.
Just
Feel free to not do that. Well, Oxygen, they're feeling free to just waltz on up mid. There's no one here fighting them. There is a cam watching for the push out. There's a very passive setup on B. I mean, for Futbolist, we talked about this as a team that likes to get aggressive on the defensive side, and they have been taught their lesson now. Oxygen, they've read their playbook. They know what's going down. And it looks like it's time to push up into B heaven. At least that's what Oxygen are set for. Zistao walking out on A. But it's a distraction play. As B is where they look to end the day, or at least for now.
oh,
Oh my god.
Sista though, getting a quick double here already. It's just holding down the fort here.
30 seconds left.
This is... Yeah, this is looking really good here from Oxygen. Sista came out of nowhere and got 2 frags. Toronto though, tried to wait for Maj here in the middle. So evens out the favors a bit. Sista gets healed back up. But Sasuke gets one with the Raze ult, but gets refried by Glow.
He's low. He's just going to run away and delay the time. Maj falls, and with that, Oxygen take the map 13-8. Oh my god. It looks like they have proven that they're not a team to be trifled with. 5-round lead as we close things out in Futbolist, the favored team not just of the game, but of the region. Have fallen on the first map. Now they've got to reverse sweep it. Who saw this one coming?
I don't know, man. I don't think many people did. Like there wasn't any reason to believe it, because first of all, their match history is basically one-sided. The previous performance in this tournament speaks the same. But then again, showing up here. Yeah,
and I think this is another one of these things where we see teams, you can lose one map. This is what we said earlier. You can lose one map, get dominated, and come back, bounce back. In series, you have even more time to think about it and assess what went wrong. These guys, they've definitely put in the work. They were ready for Futbolist, and they've taken them down on map number 1. Now, Oxygen, they've taken down the Prince of the region. They're versus the King, and they're 1 map away from knocking the King of Turkey out of this tournament. We'll be back in a little bit to find out how map number 2 goes. Don't go anywhere.